order.
The Tea Party on your side, as so often is the case.
Mr. Speaker,
as is so often the case.
Reclaiming my time.
As is so often the case.
Mr. Speaker, reclaiming my time.
Republicans so touchy about the Tea Party that they literally shut down Democratic Whip Steny Hoyer when he dared to criticize the movement on the House floor. The Tea Party and its unwillingness to compromise is why a shutdown is still on the table. And the new NBC Wall Street Journal poll points to who's most unwilling to give an inch in this debate. The numbers are very telling. It finds that 68% of Democrats think their party leaders should be willing to make a compromise to gain consensus in the current spending debate. And they've gotten their wish. They have compromised and compromised. But look at what happens when you ask Republicans. Only 38% think that their party leaders should compromise in order to make a deal. And that number drops again when you ask Tea Party members. Just 28%, that's less than 3 in 10, think that GOP leaders should make concessions. The Tea Party's unwillingness to give even an inch was on full display at a rally yesterday organized by Americans for Prosperity. Here's Indiana Congressman Mike Pence calling for a shutdown if the group can't get its way.
If liberals in the Senate would rather play political games and force a government shutdown instead of accepting a modest down payment on fiscal discipline and reform, I say shut it down.
Well, their position seems to be clear. They don't want any compromise, and they're literally chanting, shut it down, shut it down. Hey, when you can't get your way, just shut it down, right? By the way, who does that remind you of? For me, it reminds me of the kid who would take their ball and go home if they didn't get their way. You remember that kid? You guys can't call me out. I was safe. I'm going home and having a tea party. With me now is Judson Phillips, founder of the Tea Party Nation. All right, Judson, you see my position on this. So let me ask you, do you want to take your ball and go home?
No, actually, I'd love to see 545 people up in Washington act like grown-ups, realize we've got a major spending and debt problem, and start doing serious reductions before we have an economic catastrophe.
Now, when grown-ups negotiate, and I've been involved in negotiations, you probably have as well, Judson, they usually come to some sort of compromise. If one side says, I'm just going to hold my breath until I turn blue, until you give me exactly what you want, well, that doesn't usually lead to a compromise or to a solution, does it?
You know, and that sounds exactly like Harry Reid, who has said
really?
Yeah, Harry Reid said he would not consider anything that the GOP sent over. I mean, how many times did he say, you know, it's not going to be any more than $33 billion?
But Justin,
it's not going to include any riders,
Justin,
such as defunding Planned Parenthood. Yeah, it is.
They said, look,
it's
everybody
even been
agrees.
On MSNBC.
Hold on. Everybody agrees that the Democrats are conceding to $33 billion. In fact, I've heard now $34.5 billion, right? Are you saying they're not conceding to that? Because that's what every single person is reporting.
No, I think that is the figure that they have gone with.
Okay, so they are willing to make a deal. They'll shake on it right now. Yeah,
well, hey, here's the problem. We have $16,000 billion as a deficit for this year, $1.65 trillion. All right, and the amount that the Democrats are talking about cutting is a mere $33 billion. That's 2%. Boehner's talking about doing a little bit more, not a whole lot, but a little bit more.
All right,
but that's still not nearly enough.
So it appears you're saying it's not nearly enough. You don't want them to compromise. That's that seems to be clear. So now let me play you a video of John Boehner. He was asked about if there's any difference between you guys and him. It's interesting. Let's watch.
You know what the Democrats say? They say they could cut a deal with you, but you won't buck the Tea Party.
Listen, there's no daylight between the Tea Party and me.
None?
None.
Is that true?
Oh, I wish. No, I mean, you know, Boehner is improving a bit, so I'm going to give him credit. He is improving a bit. But Boehner is not where I think any of us in the Tea Party want him to be. You know, I penned an open letter to Boehner this afternoon saying, look, the General Accounting Office has pointed out hundreds of billions of dollars that can be eliminated in the budget just by eliminating inefficient programs, programs that don't work, programs that are duplicated. Hey, let's start there. Nobody supports wasteful and fraudulent government spending. Everybody would agree, hey, if the money's being wasted, we need to cut it out of the budget. So let's start there. So, I mean, that's where I'd kind of like him to start.
All right, so let me get this right. If the Democrats concede seat again and you get to $35 billion, are you still in favor of shutting it down?
No, I'm in favor of real substantial budget cuts.
Okay, in other words, if they say $35 billion, no deal, shut it down.
That's I mean, 34 billion, 35 billion, when you're talking deficits the size we're talking about.
But Justin, do you get that everybody watching right now thinks we can't ever get a deal with you? I mean, if we went to 40, you'd still say no. 45, I mean, at what point do you say yes unless you get everything you want?
Yeah, well,
give me a number. Give me a number. What's the number where you say, all right, fine, okay, let's have a deal?
I would go, personally, this is me, if they came up with $100 billion, I wouldn't be happy, but I'd say, okay, I can compromise on that.
Wait, $100 billion, you mean like 61? That's what the Republicans asked for? Or you mean beyond that 100?
No, I'm talking about, let's go with the original $100 billion that the Republicans said they were going to cut. And the GAO's given them the blueprint. You can cut hundreds of billions just on waste.
Beyond 100%. You want beyond 100% of what the Republicans are asking for right now.
Yes. What I want, this is not a game. Hey, Chick, this is not a game where we go, oh, well, we're going to negotiate to see who goes first and we play Monopoly. No, we've got a fiscal crisis in the government.
That's right.
We have
it's
a debt
not a game.
crisis,
So you know what happens when you shut down the government?
Crisis? You got a lot of debt.
Judson, you know what happens when you shut down the government? Our troops don't get paid. It's not a game to them. I mean, we're risking their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan, and you're willing to shut down the government unless you get over 100% of what you want. And so then these guys aren't going to get paid, even though they're risking their lives. That doesn't sound like a game to me either. I mean, you're willing to do that?
The GOP offered a bill that would make sure...
Oh, come on, Judson.
No,
come on.
Hey,
no, but you're saying ultimately you will not have any deal. Ultimately, you will say no to all deals.
The rest of the year.
It's a gimmick for a week.
All these guys will get paid.
No, that's a gimmick for a week. Ultimately, you're saying the final deal you won't have under any circumstance. Do you guess? Last thing for you, Justin. Here's the thing I can't understand about you guys. You act like you're the only people in the country, like that the Tea Party somehow is the president and the Congress and everybody else in the Supreme Court. You know there are other people in the country, and those people are saying compromise. So, and think about that. What does it do to your own party when you force them into an untenable situation, and then you've got the general electorate saying we don't want that? Doesn't that hurt your own party?
Hey, Cenk, you're assuming facts, not in evidence. The majority of the American people have said, we don't want this kind of spending. We want the spending cut. A Rasmussen poll just came out and said 60% of Americans
say yes.
would prefer to have the government shut down rather than continuing this level of spending. That is not what the
polls say. The American people do not want the government shut down. That is not remotely true.
Yes, it is. It most certainly is.
All right. Well, we'll show the polls. We'll show the polls, okay?
Fair enough.
Judson Phillips, thank you for your time tonight. You made things more clear.
Thank you for the invitation.